Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Red Eye and today I have a shorter video than I had intended to make. I had planned on recording the second part of the Berserk Artbook video. However, recently I have just been dealing with some health issues, so recording has been very difficult. So I decided that in the meantime I would record this shorter video. So if you have been following my channel, even though there's only 3 videos on my channel, I previously made a video showcasing all of my art books that I have collected over the years. And since then, I have made a couple more purchases of various art books, both for the purpose of covering on the channel and also just because I like art books and I just really enjoy collecting them, reading them, going through them and all that. So with all that out of the way, let's get started. And like I said, I do apologize, this is going to be a shorter video than the other videos on my channel. So let's get started, shall we? So the first book that I have purchased recently is The Art of Halo 5. As a Halo fan, this was an absolute must-buy. However, also as a Halo fan, I am not the biggest fan of Halo 5, to be honest. I found it very disappointing, as did many Halo fans. However, the environments and the armor and enemy types and all that stuff I found interesting in terms of the designs, so I thought that the art book would at least be interesting to go through for those aspects alone, even if I am not the biggest fan of the game itself. I bought this book on Amazon for its retail price, and it has a very nice clicky cover which is good for tapping. So this is a book that will be covered very soon on my channel. I'm gonna try and do all of the Halo art books almost in a row rather than doing them separately. So let's continue, shall we? The next art book, and one that I had actually pre-ordered before I even started this channel, is The Art of Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is one of my favorite first-person shooter campaigns, not just of all time, but in recent memory in terms of first-person shooter games. I played the original Titanfall, which was a multiplayer-only game, if you have played it, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I found it fun, but I found it got stale very fast. Whereas Titanfall 2, on the other hand, is absolutely incredible, both in its story campaign and in its multiplayer. Me and a friend of mine have put an unhealthy amount of hours into its multiplayer, and it is some of the most fun I have ever had playing a first-person shooter game and a mech game. I'm not really into that many mech games. There is one other mech game which I have been a fan of since I was a very small child, which I actually have the art book here and I will show it to you very shortly. But yeah, both the on-foot gameplay and the mech gameplay are absolutely incredible. Again, both in single player and multiplayer. And despite the first game not having a campaign, The second game's campaign is incredible. If you have not played Titanfall 2, I would highly recommend it. It usually goes on sale on Steam whenever they have a sale, and you can usually pick it up for about €9 or so. So I would highly, highly recommend it. Moving on, we have the art of the Mass Effect trilogy. I actually never played Mass Effect until very recently, about a year ago or so. For no particular reason, I just never ended up playing the games as they came out. But I played the entire trilogy, back to back to back, and I absolutely fell in love with the series. I believe there are 2 art books for Mass Effect. There's this one, which is the art of the Mass Effect trilogy, and there's also the art of the Mass Effect universe. I'm not sure what the difference is between them. From what I read online, the trilogy book contains most of the stuff in the universe book, but the universe book does have some unique stuff to it. And just for a little fun fact, if you are a connoisseur of ASMR videos, I don't know if you would consider this an ASMR video, but there is an ASMR artist by the username of Springbok ASMR, and she has an incredible video on the art of the Mass Effect universe book, and it is far and away my favorite ASMR video of all time, and her video is actually what inspired me to start my channel. So if you have not watched that video, I would strongly recommend it. It is one of the most relaxing and calming ASMR videos probably ever made, in my opinion. And this book will be covered very, very shortly on my channel as well. Next up, we have the art of Halo 4. Halo 4 being the first mainline entry of the 343 Industries era Halo games. When I first played Halo 4, when it released, I wasn't that big of a fan of it, but I have since played through it about 5 or 6 times since then, and it has slowly but surely grown on me, and I now really, really like it. It's not as good as the Bungie era games, but in my opinion, I think it is the best of the 343 games. And Halo 4 is also, since it's a new developer, 343 Industries, is the first mainline departure from the original Halo art style into a new art style, which, whether you like it or dislike it, it is at least interesting, and some of the environments are absolutely incredible. So the environments are mainly why I bought this book. I also bought this on Amazon when I bought the Halo 5 art book. So this one will be covered before we cover the Halo 5 book. Next up, continuing the trend of Halo, we have Halo, the Art of Building Worlds. This is an art book I have wanted for a very, very long time. I was not able to buy it when it first released. However, I did manage to find a copy on eBay for a price that was somewhat embarrassing to pay for, but in my opinion, it is well worth it. This is one of the signed copies, of which I believe there were only 1,000 made. This is number 293. I was a bit confused at the beginning. I had thought that by signed edition that they meant on the cover, but no, it's signatures inside the book itself. And I believe the signed copies come with this, I don't know what the term is, sheath or cover for the book, which I think looks very, very nice. This is what the cover looks like without the sheath. Again, incredible cover, and it just really gives you a hint of what the art is going to be in. I won't go too much into it, but just to give you guys an example, we start off with probably my favorite piece of artwork ever for Halo, of Chief and Arbiter from Halo 3. If you guys are old like I am, and you bought Halo 3 on release, the game actually came with a small poster of this picture, which I have framed. I was lucky enough to get a copy that had it included, and apparently that was only for some of the first editions of the game. The later copies did not come with it, but I am very, very glad I have this, and it is one of the most treasured things I have, for sentimental reasons, and also I just think it's incredible. You know, you can see the size difference between the Chief, who is over 7 feet tall, and Thelv Vadam, the Arbiter, who is massive, just towering over Chief. Kind of gives you a bit of perspective on just how big the Sangheili are in universe. So yeah, this book will be, because it is not a mainline entry Halo series, this one will probably be the book that I cover once I finish the Berserk series. So I will put the book back in its sheath after I am done recording. Next, I don't know if you would consider this an art book. However, this is the Halo Reach strategy guide, which I bought when Halo Reach first came out. While it does feature artwork, it is a strategy guide first and foremost, both for the campaign and for the multiplayer. You know, it has maps of all of the multiplayer maps, including the spawn points, the weapon spawn points, tips for how to play each level, and on different game modes. So I'm not sure if you guys are interested in me covering strategy guides as well as art books, or if you would prefer that I just stick to art books. I actually thought I had lost this book when I ended up doing a big move almost 9 years ago. However, last month when I was kind of cleaning out or doing a clean of my house, I found this book and I was elated to find it. Each version of the strategy guide comes with a different member of Noble Team as its cover, and the one I have has Cat on it, which I think is really, really nice. I'll be honest, when I first bought this, I was kind of disappointed because I really wanted to get the Emil cover. However, now I am actually really glad that I have the Cat version, because I just think Cat is a very cool character, especially if you have seen some of the Halo Reach trailers. It just kind of gives Cat a bit more character and a bit of a backstory on how she lost her arm. finally, for the final book that I have bought since my last video, and absolutely not least, it is the official artworks of Armored Core: The Fires of Rubicon. This is the game that I mentioned in when I was talking about Titanfall, about mech games. Armored Core, The Fires of Rubicon is an incredible, incredible game. And I know that a lot of people, this was their first entry into the Armored Core series, and unlike a lot of people, I am always glad when more people find a series and come into a fandom that I like. It just makes me happy to know that other people find series that I enjoy as enjoyable as I do. I grew up playing Armored Core games. I still have all of the physical editions of every Armored Core game, even the PS1 version. So I have been an Armored Core fan for almost all my life, or at least as long as I have been playing video games. So I have very fond memories of each and every game. Not every game is great, and you might imagine that playing Armored Core as a very young child would be rather difficult, and if you think that, you would be 100% correct. It took me ages and ages to complete the first couple of games because I was so young. I must have been only 7 or 8, but nonetheless, I loved every minute of it, and I have gone back and replayed those games more times than I can count. Armored Core and Halo are probably the game series that I have replayed each entry the most out of any game series. So yeah, that is going to be the end of this video. Like I said, it was a shorter video that I just wanted to give you guys an update and show you some of the newer art books that I have bought and found since my previous video on my art book collection. And like I said at the beginning, once I am fully back to being 100% health-wise, I will be finishing the Berserk video. I am going to try and wrap it up in part 2. If the video gets too long, it will end up being a 3-parter, but I'm going to try my best to wrap it up in two videos. So thank you very much for watching this video or listening to this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If any of the books that I covered piqued your interest, please let me know in the comments which book you would like me to cover first, and I will be sure to prioritize that over any of the other books. So if you are listening to this video as you are laying down or falling asleep, this is the end of the video, so I would click off it now before an ad plays that could potentially wake you up. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.